Right, Tony lad, right, Edge magazine, absolutely fantastic. However, right, latest edition, Dragon Age, the Veilguard, fantastic, beautiful cover, love it to pieces. Right, who signed off on Chroma Green as your bloody title? I mean, I have to use last month's, aren't I? Think on. Play Before You Die by Tony Motts, the absolutely fantastic editor of Edge magazine. Of Resident Evil 2 today. Okay, that was the studio setup. I'm sure many of you will have seen it before. I've used time lapses of me setting up the studio in vlogs before. Let's have a quick talk about kit that I use in the studio. So this is Studio A, the one that I predominantly use when I'm filming by myself. It's also kind of my study, little office, games collection room, not a games room. Games room is defined by the room that you play video games in, and I play all my video games in the living room. So if there's a games room, it's that room, okay? You know who you are, person who continuously refers to this room as my games room. When I have people over, I have to use my living room, so I call that Studio B, because this room gets ridiculously hot. There's no proper ventilation in here, there's no air conditioning. The best I can do is open the windows that are behind there. I've done that and it doesn't really offer much ventilation, and because I live just off of a main road, you get interrupted by police cars, ambulances, fire engines, road rage people out there, and it bleeds through onto the audio and it makes the audio a mess. So I hate it, but I try to leave the windows shut. Maybe one day I'll have air conditioning, who knows, that would be nice, wouldn't it? In terms of lighting, I have used, for the entire time I've been making YouTube videos, a set of photographic studio lights. One there, one there. That one gets in the way of the door, so another problem with ventilation because I have to keep the door closed. And then I have a couple of fill lights for the green screen. The purpose of fill lights, for those of you that don't know, is to illuminate your background. This makes it easier for me to chroma key the green screen out, and it makes things look better lighting wise. I've been told badgers are quite the It's quite bright outside today, so you will have noticed in certain videos I have like little white patches just below my waist, and it's basically where the curtain doesn't quite cover the entirety of my window, so and the light gets in from the back, which sort of mixes with the light from the front. When you put the video into the editing software, these come out as white. You probably saw me stick a cardboard little shield back here. I need to remake it, and I need to remake it a little bit bigger. It causes all kinds of problems with editing and trying to chroma key out the green screen. I'm trying to get a way around it. The only way I can really feasibly get around it would be to film after dark, and that's not always feasible. Finding Bigfoot in the game. Rumours flew around about... Oh shit, the card's full. Audio. Okay, now at the minute, obviously I'm using a little wireless Bluetooth microphone set. A very good little set that I bought off Amazon, but this is really just for vlog stuff. For my videos, I use a little lapel mic that goes into a little audio recorder, and then what I'll do when I'm editing is I will sync the sound up to the sound that's recorded on the camera. This is quite old now. This is a Yamaha Pocket Track C24. What I used to do back in the day, before I got the microphone to go with it, is I used to stick this on a tripod in a little clamp, and I used to have it just below where the camera is, so you couldn't quite see it. And then what I'd have to do is I'd have to audio balance my footage when editing, which is a right pain in the ass. The nice thing about having the audio recorder and the microphone is the audio is far clearer and far cleaner, and I have to do pretty much no audio editing on my videos at all. I appreciate in some videos I could benefit from doing a little bit of audio editing properly, but we're working on a time scale here, people. And what I do with the audio off of this is I sync this with the audio that's on the camera that I film on. Speaking of camera, let's have a look at that. I cannot do it. I cannot do it. Cannot use the pipe with my bloody teeth in. I am still to this day using the camera that Mr. Hairy Brit, or Alan Spicer as I believe his proper name is.
Hello, I'm Alan Spicer. I'm a YouTube certified expert.
Recommended to me and most of his YouTube audience all those years ago, a Canon EOS 1300D. This is basically YouTubers' first camera. It's a really good starting camera for if you're a YouTuber, for if you're wanting to get into photography. It's just a really good all-rounder. You can take the lenses off. I use a HDMI out from the camera to my monitor. This comes on. There we go. You can see me there. I've set this up so I'm not going to bugger about with it too much, but basically what I have to do is turn it on, manually focus the camera to the green screen. Pro tip, always manually focus, because if you autofocus, at some point the camera will decide to try and refocus your shot, and trust me, I have lost a lot of footage in the past because halfway through filming, I haven't realised it, the camera has decided to autofocus on me and it's focused on what's behind me and I'm completely blurry. So yeah, pro tip, if you do get a camera, manual focus, people, manual focus. I don't try to hide it. It's obvious in quite a lot of my videos. I use an auto cue, and that auto cue is basically just a Samsung Galaxy tablet. This is actually the next thing that I'm going to upgrade. It's fine. You're fine. It is showing its age, which makes the game world feel alive. The auto cue has stopped working. Oh, now it's working again. Nope, no, now it's not. Manual focus, people. Manual focus.
Manual focus, people.
Welcome, ladles and jelly spoons, to that bit of the vlog where I run down this month's pickups. And this month has been, yeah, okay, fairly good. I also realised I never tend to talk about the more recent games that I've picked up, like anything new that's come out that I've been very excited to play, and I thought it's about time that we fix that, and not just because there is something of an interesting story attached to my first pickup. I say interesting, I really mean frustrating. A game that I was actually very, very excited for, and I thought I'd pre-ordered it. Now, if you remember in my last vlog, I was telling you about the problems that I've been having with Game and the fact that they had redone their website and completely buggered up my account, and at the time of filming this I still haven't been able to get into my old Game account. I have emailed their customer services department about it, and at time of filming I've heard nothing back from them over a month later, so I'm going to, after filming this, send them another pissy email, and if I hear nothing from that in a couple of weeks, well, I have managed to track down Game's customer services phone number, so I'm going to give them a shitty phone call. Because I'm old, I'm very much one of those people that likes to speak to an actual real person and know that an actual real person is looking into my problem, rather than sending an email and knowing full well that it's just gone to the void that is a customer services email inbox. Anyway, the first game that I picked up this month is a sequel to an absolutely fantastic 2001 Xbox 360 and PlayStation 3 game. Pretty much everyone I follow on social media has been banging on about this game, and that is Warhammer 40k Space Marine 2. Warhammer 40k Space Marine 2 is a third-person action game where players control Lieutenant Titus of the Ultramarines. Fighting against the Tyranid Swarm, the game is known for its intense combat and offers a mix of ranged and melee action with various weapons like bolters and chainswords. The game has a campaign mode, playable solo or co-op with up to 3 other people, along with multiplayer modes including PvE Operations mode and a 6v6 PvP Eternal War mode. The game is set 100 years after the original game, and it explores Titus's return amidst political tension. And I haven't even opened it yet. That's how excited to play this I am. I thought I need to shoot this bit of video before I actually play it. So let's unbox it now, shall we? Nice. Following that pickup, I was recently in my local CEX, and I wasn't really looking for anything particular. I just thought I'd drop in and see what they had. And they had 3 games that I thought I best pick those up. The first one I only picked up because I had recently watched friend of the channel, Pixel Paul. There we go, that is the obligatory mention of Pixel Paul in this month's vlog.
Thanks again.
Pixel Paul has done an absolutely fantastic video looking at James Bond video games. If you've not watched it, I will link it in the description down below. It is absolutely really good video. And you kind of forget how many games that came after GoldenEye that were desperately trying to be the next GoldenEye. Sadly, the one that I picked up from CEX was one of those games that was just trying to be the next GoldenEye, and that is 007 Agent Under Fire. 007 Agent Under Fire is a first-person shooter where players control James Bond through action, espionage and gadget-filled missions. Featuring an original story, Bond works to stop a villainous plot involving world leader clones. The game includes varied gameplay with shooting, driving and rail shooter segments, plus local multiplayer. Now, apparently this is not a good game. I have never played it personally myself. I had completely forgotten about it until Pixel Paul mentioned it in his video. I'm probably going to get the facts around this wrong because I've not done any proper research on it. This game was made by MGM Interactive, which is basically the video game arm of MGM Movie Studios. They have the rights to distribute 007 media, but they don't own the rights to 007. That is owned by a different production company that's name completely escapes me. Is it something ION? Production company that owns the James Bond IP didn't sign off on this game, so hence why you haven't got a faced James Bond. It's also why Judi Dench's M isn't in the game. This was purely put out by MGM Interactive, desperately trying to be the next GoldenEye, and they didn't quite manage it. It's not good, but it will make for a good Sunday evening retro gaming session, that's for sure. The next game I picked up from my local CEX was a game that I was well aware existed, but for some reason in my head I'd never thought I'd actually see this game out in the wild, unless I went to a retro video game market, fair, one of those things. And that game is Ultimate Spider-Man on the Xbox. Ultimate Spider-Man is an action-adventure game set in the Ultimate Marvel universe. It follows Spider-Man and Venom in a comic-style story-driven experience. Players switch between Spider-Man with web swinging and agility, and Venom, who uses powerful melee attacks. The cel-shaded visuals mimic a comic book, and it was praised for its accuracy to the original artwork. The game received positive reviews for its style and gameplay, but was noted for its short story. Now, I own this on the PlayStation 2, and I do believe that the PlayStation 2 has a very nice and quite expensive at CEX special edition, but I thought since I've seen this in my CEX and it's a game that I really like, I'm going to pick it up on the Xbox as well. Definitely looking forward to spending some time with this. I'll probably play through it again, to be honest, because I think this is one of my top Spider-Man games of all time. I would actually probably argue that I like this one a little bit more than everyone's favourite, the OG Spider-Man 2. There's just something really nice about it. The final game that I picked up in CEX, I only really picked this up for the cover, because the cover that I've got for my copy of this game isn't in particularly good nick, and that is Vanquish. Vanquish is a third-person shooter known for its fast-paced, stylish gameplay and unique mechanics. Players control Sam Gideon, who's equipped with an augmented reaction suit that enables high-speed slides and slow-motion combat. Set in a futuristic world, Sam battles robots on a space station to prevent a super weapon attack. The game received praise for its action and mechanics, although the story and short length were noted drawbacks. It is considered a cult classic with a 2020 re-release for modern consoles and PC. The copy that I got of this game recently, over the summer when I did my mass video game haul, is pretty shoddy looking. This is a perfectly reasonable lenticular cardboard cover. The game's in really nice condition, and it's actually a really good game too. The next set of games that I picked up was just purely on a whim, really. I was in a local charity shop in their sort of DVD CD section at the back. They had a selection of video games, predominantly old FIFA games, but they had these ones in there, and I thought, do you know what, just because these are actually the only games you have got that are not FIFA and SingStar, I'm going to pick you up. I think I've paid over the odds of what CEX would actually charge me for them, but not by a lot. First up we have Star Wars Jedi Starfighter. Again, apparently it's not a brilliant game. Star Wars Jedi Starfighter is a space combat game set before Episode 2 Attack of the Clones. Players control Jedi Knight Adi Gallion in her Jedi Starfighter, fighting the Trade Federation. The game includes Force powers like Force Lightning and Force Shield, adding variety to space battles. It features a split-screen co-op mode and is praised for its Star Wars atmosphere, although the missions can feel repetitive. It is remembered as a unique Star Wars game for blending traditional space combat with Jedi abilities. I've never played it, but again, I think it'll make for a really good Sunday evening retro gaming session, followed by SWAT Global Strike Team. I believe this is the console version of Sierra's SWAT series that was quite popular on the PC. I think I own SWAT 3 and 4 on the PC. SWAT Global Strike Team is a tactical first-person shooter where players lead a SWAT team on counter-terrorism missions. Emphasising teamwork, players can command AI squad members or use voice commands through a headset. The game has a near-future setting, featuring missions like hostage rescue and bomb disarmament. It was praised for its team mechanics and voice command feature, although some found the gameplay repetitive. It is remembered as a unique, more action-orientated spin on the SWAT series. They were trying to be a more action-orientated Rainbow Six, and then Rainbow Six got really action-orientated, and it sort of went off the boil for me. Peak Rainbow Six for me is like Rainbow Six 1, Rogue Spear and 3, and then I've not really enjoyed any of the others. Finally, the game that I paid £2 for, bit of a punt with this one, RUSE, better known as Ruse. Ruse, the Art of Deception, a World War II real-time strategy game that emphasises deception tactics over direct combat. Players control large forces and use ruses like fake units and hidden movements to outsmart opponents. The game features a unique zoom mechanic, allowing for seamless views from high-level strategy to close-up action. The campaign follows Allied officer Joe Sheridan, exploring themes of trust and psychological warfare. Praised for its innovation and multiplayer depth, Ruse is remembered for its distinct approach to the RTS genre. This game came out on the PC, Xbox 360 and, as you can see, PlayStation 3. It's a very early console RTS. I originally thought this was like a modern RTS, but I've actually read the back of it now and it's set in 1943. Could be good, could be bad. I guess one Sunday I'm going to find out. I am running out of space and you probably can't see these games now. Last and by no means least, a couple of eBay pickups. The first one is down to a chap I follow on Instagram, the Bristolian Gamer, I think his name is. I will put a link to his Instagram profile down below. A while back he posted about a video game and a comic series that he's very fond of, and I started talking to him a little bit about it and realised I'd never played this particular game, but I remember it being advertised to hell when it first came out. I joked with him that I was going to go out that weekend and pick up the game. Unfortunately, there was nowhere locally selling that game, so I had to resort to eBay and picked up a very nice copy at a very reasonable price of the game The Punisher. The Punisher is a third-person shooter where players control Frank Castle on a mission to eliminate criminals in New York City. Known for its dark, gritty tone, the game includes unique interrogation mechanics that use the environment to intimidate or kill enemies. The The storyline, inspired by the Punisher comics, features villains like Jigsaw and Bushwhacker. It was praised for capturing the Punisher's brutal style, although some regions censored its graphic content. The game is remembered as a faithful and intense adaptation for fans of darker superhero themes. Looking forward to trying this game out. Thanks for the recommendation, the Bristolian Gamer. The final game that I picked up this month, I'm back on my N64 cartridge only collection, and I picked myself up a lovely copy of Formula 1 World Grand Prix 2. F1 World Grand Prix 2 is a realistic Formula 1 racing simulator for the Nintendo 64, featuring all teams, drivers and tracks from the 1998 season. Known for its detailed graphics, challenging AI and simulation-focused gameplay, it allows players to customise car setups and navigate weather and damage systems. Though it was only released in Japan and Europe, it was praised for its authenticity and remains popular amongst fans of realistic racing on classic consoles. This is a relatively cheap game, and I only picked it up because I had been playing F1 World Grand Prix 1 fairly recently, one Sunday evening, and was just doing a little bit of online research into the game and realised there was actually a sequel to it. So I thought, yes, best pick this one up for the collection. The little button's fallen off of my mic pack. I need to glue this on because this is not the first time that's happened. Anyway, back to video making. The first thing I'm going to do is sit down with my voice recorder and my microphone and record all the voiceover bits. That was me recording all of the VO or voiceover. Snap the little audio recorder into my computer and copy over all of that. Johnnie and Marty, the absolutely fantastic editor of Edge. So what I do is I make a folder on the computer with the name of the video, the month it's going to come out, retro roots for Star Wars. You should have already have seen that. In there we will do 3 folders. One called video, one called VO, one called files. Play Before You Die by Tony Mott, the fantastic editor of, oh for f***'s sake, by Tony Mott, the absolutely fantastic editor of... Right, we need to work this out because I keep picking the bloody book up the wrong way around no matter how I do it. Okay, the next thing to do is fairly obvious, and that's record all the 2 camera works. That's what we're going to do now. I've always got to remember that I probably need a set amount of props. I don't think I need any particular specialist props for this video. There isn't an awful lot of 2 camera work for it, but an example would be I quite often need 1001 Video Games You Must Play Before You Die by Tony Mott, and a copy of Edge magazine. I will occasionally need a pint of best for Pat and a cup of tea for Keith. I don't think this script requires either of them to have either of those things. Pat's personal props, his flat cap, his glasses and his pipe, are all with his costume. That's a fun fact for you if you didn't know. In the theatre world there are such things as standard props and personal props, and personal props refers to anything that the character has themselves, and the actor is responsible for his personal props. Yeah, so don't be coming to the props master saying, I cannot find my pipe. They don't care. You should have looked after it yourself. Can't tell I work in theatre, can you? Possibly should have worn the bigger fangs. For the sake of the vlog, this is a clapperboard that I use and I put up at the beginning of when I start filming, so that when I'm looking at it on the computer I know which bit of footage I'm recording, because sometimes I record like 2 or 3 videos in a day and I need to be able to differentiate them. The first thing I do is an audio sync, and that is so that when I'm in the editing software I've got something to sync up the camera audio with the audio that the microphone is recording. The way I do it is I will do 3 claps from the clapperboard. So 1, 2, 3. I'm not going to do them now because I'll get confused when I'm editing it, won't I? If I make a gaffe, as I'm sure I'm bound to do, I will do a single clap so that I know, again, in the editing software where I can see I've stopped and started. It'll make sense when we get to the editing bit, I promise you. Let's get on with the filming. Now, on that note, let's keep this retro run fun. April of 2005, they've released a full portrait game. Now, what I'm hoping is that this innovative or inspired way of placing microphone will help as we delve into the next section. Because the next bit is Keith, right? Now, Keith, he's a special chap. There's a little bit of a special setup for our Keith. Now then, don't get excited, ladies. I'm not getting my kicks off. I am, however, about to transform before your very eyes into the man, the myth, the legend, Keith in waiting. But yes, there is a special setup for our Keith, which I'll take you through now. Obviously, I can't suddenly age another 40 years very quickly. So, what I have to do, this is going to be a bit of a challenge because I've just realised that I'm using the mount that I need for Keith to record you chaps. Hello! Right, now what is going on? I haven't got the foggiest. What we have to do for Keithy baby is, because he relies on a filter, I have to get the old mobile phone here and me tripod. As I'm sure most of you are aware, it is a Snapchat filter. And what I have to do is I have to go into director's mode and go to lenses, and it's one of my favourites. Get that one there. Should make me old. There he is! There's the chap! Hey, see him? Here I am, look, hey, hello, say hello to the vlog, hey, hello vlog, hey, lovely, hey. Okay, yeah, so he relies on an app. Hit timer and stretch this to 3 minutes. Cold War? Were there badgers involved? They're quite territorial, you know. There we go, right. Sorry, right, okay, I can probably start speaking normally now. Okay, so the next step would be get all of this video and audio that I've recorded into the computer for editing. Cheerio, see you oh, you bugger. So, we've recorded voiceover, we have recorded all the stuff to camera. I've put everything away now, obviously. So now what we have to do is get all the video and all the audio we've recorded and get it onto the camera for editing. Now, you're gonna have a go at me because what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna just point the camera at the computer screen. Now, I'm well aware there are many different programs I could use to record my computer screen. Just go with it, for God's sake. Okay, so here we are with the folder for this video, voiceover, files. Okay, I have put the memory card from the camera into the computer. There we are. So we've got Kai's bit,
August 2020.
and we've got
August 2024.
Pat's bit. Now, Keith's bit is already in, not the VO folder, sorry, is already in the video folder. What I had to do was obviously get it off of my phone. I just airdropped it onto the computer. Copy those onto there. Whilst that's doing that, I'll go to my audio recording device. Here are 3 files. One will be Kai, one will be Pat, and that'll be Keith. They also need to go into this video folder. So the final folder we've got here is called Files. This is basically for, which I appreciate I have spelled wrong. I just realised that. And you've probably worked it out if you're looking down this part of the screen. It is for all the gameplay footage, cover art. Now, I've already gone ahead and got what I need, so obviously this is for the retro roots on Star Wars Outlaws. I was going to say it weird then. So we're just going to pull that into there. Come on, hover over it. Yeah. Into there. And I also got some audio from game. Yes, I do use MetaHuman. I use the MetaHuman audio MP3 Ripper and the video ripper from MetaHuman. They're very good programs. They have yet to let me down. We then go to our editing software, which is Premiere Pro. The way that I edit is I have a pre-started file called Channel Basic Setup, which has basically got the intro, which somebody has literally just pointed out to me an hour ago. Someone had left a comment on one of my YouTube videos that the bit of music I'm using is used by another bunch of gamers on YouTube called Triple Jump, who I don't think I've ever heard of them before. Terribly sorry, I'm sure they're incredibly popular. Yeah, so it's basically got the intro, the outro, the lower thirds, the like, share, notification ones, and then the lower third for the game I'm covering, and then some markers. I've also then got the backgrounds, so Kai's background and Pat's background. I've also just realised that's out. Right, let's sort that out first. Let's put you back over there. Let's sort you there. It only took 8 months to make. That's pretty. That's pretty. It's very pretty. It's really good. What we're going to do is we're going to start putting in our files. Out there. Come back to that. So this is all the video files. Shove them in first. Then the voiceover files, and then files. Then what we're going to do is go here, go save as, and then find the folder in here, August, Retro Star Wars, call it just that, August 2024, Retro Star Wars. Firstly, let's put up this my bit. Yep. So I'll take that and we'll dump that into there and just hover it. I'm sure people are going to have a go at me for the way that I edit. I actively don't care. This is just the way that I do it. This is the way I've always done it. Not massively fussed. I'm sure there are better ways to do it. But this is just the way I do it.
No, there's nothing says Star Wars like Swedish efficiency and a knack for
Yeah, okay, so there's me getting it wrong a little bit. But you can tell from that that the audio is a little bit ropey. So we'll get the 3 audio files that we recorded. So the first one should be Kai's. Second one should be Pat's. And the third one should be Keith's. Now, basically what's happened here is I have forgotten to turn the microphone on. I do have a small fix around for this. It's not awful, I probably could tidy it up a little bit. The audio sync at the beginning of a record. There we go. So what I need to do is I need to scrub along this timeline until I hear the first bit of noise. There we go. There we go. So we're going to cut it there. Then on the recorded audio, I'm going to scrub along until we see the same 3 spikes at the beginning, which is there. Last one. There we go. Cut that. Line that up with the front of there, and line that up with the front of there. So you should now. And then what we're going to do is just move that onto there like that. Now I forgot to turn the camera off, so I'm just going to have to unlink and get rid of that. I can probably shorten that as well, and shorten that. Okay, and so that is how we sync up the audio. Next, then we need to get rid of the studio background and chroma key the green screen so we can see what's behind the green screen, which is the background. So we go to the effects tab, type in ultra key, bring the ultra key effect over, plop it on the video timeline. Now we're also going to need the crop tool. Oops, crop tool. Put that on the timeline. I tend to do cropping first because it makes life a little bit easier. So let's find where we've started. About there. Yep. Go to our effects controls over here. Scroll down till we get to the crop. Left side of the screen. I want to bring that in until I've cropped out most of the green screen. I think I might have to go 23 on that. I usually take a bit off the top as well, a bit like a hairdresser. And then from the right, a bit there. Now, hat always stands on the right hand side of the screen, so we're going to go up to the position of our video. Move it along to the side until the green screen is just touching the edge of the screen, like that. Yep. Okay, then go down to the ultra key. Grab the ultra key. You want to, I was always told to take it close to the subject where there's a little bit of shadow. So we're gonna try it there. Okay. Now it's not perfect, so what we're going to do is we're going to hide the background. So we just get this sheet background, go up to the matte generation and matte cleanup. I'm going to reduce the transparency to 35% so everything looks a little bit more solid. You'd think I'd do it the other way, but no. Otherwise it starts to look a little bit ghostly. We take the highlights out. That's reduced an awful lot of the background noise. Shadow and tolerance I'm leaving, and then finally pedestal. I'm going to move these up. Now again, until it's sort of gone. It's gone about there. It says 49%, so just to be sure, I'm going to keep it at 55. That's fine. Matte cleanup, choke. This is just how solid the edges are of Pat. If I bring the background back in, it's not actually too bad, but if we let it play for a bit, you can sort of see, well, I can anyway. So on the choke, it can vary from video to video depending on how well you've sort of filmed it and how consistent your background is. But I'm going to put the choke at 20%, and then I'm going to put the soften of the edges also at 20%. That just makes it look a little bit nicer. There we go. So once you've done that for Kai and you've done it for Keith, I've got the script next to me, just down there. I start cutting the bits up. I think it's this one.
Swedish efficiency and a knack for tactical warfare. It's like IKEA but with more layers.
There we are, and that's, I believe that's Keith's fifth bit.
Perkins nothing says in a knack for tactical.
Yep, there we go.
It's not good. It's not good. Not good when you back like with you flustered.
And then what we do is we take Not like that. Now, this is a main thing that I know a lot of people probably complain at me about, because what I probably should do is start an entirely new sequence, especially for the video, but I just edit it and cut it together all in one, because it's just how I do it. Stick it together like that. You chop and change using your script. Chop, 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 chop. Down into the timeline. We'll come back when it's finished.
A bit like reusing old tea leaves for a second brew. It's not quite the same. Now, did you know that much of Nocturne's music also popped up in various episodes of Buffy the Vampire Slayer? Ah, shit.
Okay, here we are at 1:45. So it's taken me, what, a good 5 hours to put this edit together? Maybe a little bit more, because I can get very picky about how I'm doing stuff. So let's have a look at the edit.
The movie Gross Point Blank, they had a store clerk playing do 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 do.
And here we have a completed timeline of a video. This video has come in at about 9.5 minutes. The basic edit, once you have sorted out the graphics and the to camera stuff, sorry, just trying to find the to camera bit, I think at the beginning, yeah, once you've sorted out the graphics and synced up the camera audio to the audio that I recorded on my microphone, and then putting it together with the voiceover that I did. Yeah, putting that together probably takes the better part of an hour, hour and a half. Then comes the overlay of video footage and graphics. Obviously, predominantly for this video, I'm just using trailer footage for a game that obviously isn't out yet. That's obviously the game that Sierra made. So this is all trailer footage and stuff like that. Putting that over and making little gaps for footage, so like this bit. Next, then going in and putting in overlay graphics like this bit. So you put stuff like that in. Yeah, in total it's probably taken me about 6 hours to edit this all together. I know it genuinely doesn't sort of seem like, I'm sure there are quicker ways of doing it. The thing is, what tends to happen with me is I get very funny about the way I'm doing things and exactly where stuff's going and where stuff hits. I'm trying to find an example. Yeah, the way that worked, right? I get very funny about the way that looks, and it probably took me longer than it should to kind of go, yeah, I'm happy with it. That's just a little personal quirk of mine. There's nothing I'm going to be able to do about that, but yeah. So that is a video pretty much beginning to end. What I would do now is I would edit out, export out the video. This is usually the time when I play a bit of Crossy Road. See how far I get with one hand. Oh, bugger.
From Devil World, this time they left the content in intact. No more hiding. The teeth are making me sound really odd. Right, Littles and Jelly Spoons, well, I do hope that you have enjoyed this month's vlog. As I say, the next vlog is the 500 subscriber special, so if you do have any questions for me that you'd like me to answer in the Q&A section, please do leave them in the comments down below. We have hit 500 subscribers on YouTube, and we've also hit 500 subscribers over on Instagram, which I'm over the moon about. Brilliant. I'm genuinely over the moon that there's like 500 people that take the time to occasionally check out my videos. Hello to all of you. Absolutely fantastic. If you've made it all the way to the end of the video and you're not subscribed to the channel yet, well, sort that out, hit the old subscribe button, make sure you click the bell, and if you enjoyed this video, click the old like button, share it out with your chums, and if you dislike the video, well, you know, click the old dislike button, but be sure to tell us why you disliked it in the comment section down below, because the only way these videos are ever going to get any better is if I know what people like and don't like watching. So yeah, thanks for that. Speak to you soon. Bye for now.